Angie, and I think you're going to take, let me stop sharing. I think you're going to take control and show your own. I will get rid of the shade so I don't continue to freak people out with not being able to see my eyes. But okay.
Yes, I should be able to share. Let me get that screen up. All right, and I'm gonna have to shift around a couple of windows just to make sure I can see what I'm sharing as well.
Yeah.
All right, great. So thanks, Tim, for the introduction. For anyone who does not know me, my name is Angie Hildack. I'm the manager of the WebFOCUS product management team for IBI. I've been working with WebFOCUS since 2009, so maybe not quite as long as some of you, but certainly a good length of time for sure. So what I wanted to go over today was just in general, what are we doing in WebFOCUS? And then also a couple of things of what we're looking at for the future as well. So overall for WebFOCUS, we have four main product themes or directions that we've been really following for a couple of years now. The first is cloud and containerization. We're seeing a really big trend in people moving to cloud environments. And so we're keeping up with that. Second is the unified authoring tool, and this is really about Designer, all of the new functionalities that we're adding into Designer every single release. Our integrated data science, that's another big trend in the industry right now, is bringing data science, machine learning, AI capabilities into BI and analytics space, and how can that help the BI and analytics space? And then last, our tailored usability. This is really kind of a catch-all for us. It's really about making it a best user experience across all of WebFOCUS, all the different areas. So I'm going to dive into each of these a little bit further. So for Cloud and Container Edition, we released the WebFOCUS Container Edition not too long ago, and this added some great flexibility. Pretty much no matter where you want to deploy, you're able to deploy now, whether you want that to be completely in the cloud, you want it to be completely on-premise, or even a hybrid where maybe your WebFOCUS environment is in the cloud, but your data still exists in an on-prem scenario. The container edition, my favorite part of it is that dynamic scaling where it meets the demands of your environment. It can either scale up and spin up new resources to match high demand, or when you're not needing a lot of resources available, it'll actually shut things down and save your cost of resources. With the push of people moving to cloud environments or hybrid environments, what we found is sometimes there's those customers who have years or possibly decades of content back from years and years of creating content through Focus and WebFOCUS. And moving into the cloud, that can be kind of a daunting task sometimes. So what we're working on now is a migration utility to make that much easier, much simpler, really checking and performing checks on the process and also help with the actual move itself, going from an on-prem environment to the cloud or really just on-prem to any other environment. So moving on to the unified authoring tool, this is really about Designer. And in Designer, we've done a ton of new enhancements, I would say, over the last 2 years, and some really big ones. So two of the largest ones that we've done were the addition of being able to compose documents in Designer. Any of you who are longtime WebFOCUS users may know these as compound documents or PDF reports or document composer reports. Had a lot of different names over the years. So this functionality is available in Designer now and was one of our big gap items from InfoAssist. Also, interactions in our Designer pages was, those of you who are familiar with App Studio, that's very similar to the tasks that were there in App Studio HTML Canvas pages. So these interactions allow you to add, allow an author to add runtime functionality to a Designer page where maybe I want to click on a button to open the scheduler tool or run content to a new window, submit something deferred, whatever it is.
Angie, sorry to interrupt. Dinesh here. One of the people in the audience mentioned that they were not able to see the content. I know I'm able to see it, but I just want to make sure before you go too far into it that I don't know if I'm able to see it because I'm a panelist, but can somebody in the audience chat and say if you're able to see the content? Okay, it seems to be working for the other attendees. Okay, I just didn't want you to get too far ahead, Angie.
No,
I think we
thanks
should
for
be
the
good.
interruption. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. All right. So moving on, I talked about things that we added from InfoAssist and from App Studio into Designer, and we know that a lot of people have that content from InfoAssist especially. And when we're saying that Designer is our designated authoring tool, the one that we want everybody to use, what does that mean for all your old content? Well, this is something I'm really excited about. Something that we are working on right now is the ability to take those old InfoAssist charts and reports. I say old, maybe current InfoAssist charts and reports, and open them up directly in Designer and be able to continue working on them in Designer. And then I say unified authoring tool, but that doesn't just mean InfoAssist and App Studio coming into Designer. That also means unified across Designer as well. So our Designer portals we've had for a little while now, but they were created through dialogues that were in the hub, and it wasn't necessarily the I would say the best user experience. You kind of had to guess what your options you were clicking to see how they would show up at runtime. We're working on improving that as well. So the screenshot here, you can see we're working on a new GUI editor for our Designer portals where you'll be able to drag and drop content into the navigation areas, reorder things very quickly, very easily. And all of these things, you'll see the changes real time. And then in the future, we're also looking for smooth workflows across the entire creation process, from creating your charts and reports, adding to pages, all the way to putting them into a portal that you can publish to other users. So then moving on to data science, we've been doing a lot of enhancements overall in our data science and machine learning capabilities. And what we're working toward our ultimate end goal is something that we're calling WebFOCUS IQ. And we want this to be the central location where you can go for all of your data science and machine learning needs. So we already have NOQ request, NOQ queries in our explore data dialog. We also have the ability to generate insights either in that dialog or in Designer. But we wanted this one place where you could do all of these things together and switch back and forth between them as well. We are working on other enhancements in here, updated workflows, new output formats, and things like that to really make the data science and machine learning experience much more usable. And then the last one, I'm going quick because I know I don't have a lot of time, the tailored usability. And really the embodiment of this is the WebFOCUS hub itself, that central location where no matter what I want to do in WebFOCUS, I can get to it from the WebFOCUS hub. I can get to all of my authoring content. I can get to all of the data that I want to connect to, or maybe create new master files, or even explore data through natural language queries or insights. Also in the hub, we've been doing a lot of customization options. And so we introduced a new white labeling earlier this year with the ability to change the colors across all of WebFOCUS, logos, browser tab titles, and even the favicon as well. And really gives the opportunity to customize WebFOCUS to match your specific company's look and feel. And then looking to the future, we're looking to introduce personal dashboards in the WebFOCUS hub directly. And this will be a place in the hub where I can save content that I've seen, whether it's content that I've authored myself, content that maybe someone else has shared with me, maybe it's the result of one of my NLQ questions that I've asked, and I want to save that result somewhere. So we are looking at introducing a personal dashboard where I have this location to save all of these things that are relevant to me specifically. So this is, I will say, my favorite project that we're working on right now, a complete redesign of our Reportcaster tool. So Reportcaster, for anyone who isn't aware, is our scheduling and distribution functionality. It's I would say, one of the most flexible in terms of the scheduling aspects of it, with blacklists and multiple levels of recurrences and everything. The UI is not quite from the 80s, but sometimes it feels like it looking at that old UI that's on the left-hand side there. So we are working to do a complete revamp of the UI. Over on the right-hand side, you can see make it really fit into the rest of the hub and make it feel like it's part of the hub. And while we're doing it, we're also trying to improve some of the workflows there as well, making it easier to get to the pieces that I really want to do in Reportcaster. And then my last one for today, I've talked a lot about WebFOCUS and all of the things that you can do in WebFOCUS, but overall IBI still has a really big focus, no pun intended, on mainframe data and accessing data on the mainframe. You may have content that exists on the mainframe. And so we have a new offering, IBI Open Data Hub for Mainframe, that really is a method of connecting to a mainframe environment through a reporting server and JDBC and ODBC connectors to be able to get to that data to use in a visualization tool of your choice. We have two kind of flavors of it. One, if you have just mainframe data that you need to access, and another one, if you already have WebFOCUS, that it's just an add-on to WebFOCUS where you can use it with other visualization tools as well. So I will go ahead and pause there, and I'll hand off to Santosh and then look forward to your questions for the panel
Hey, Angie,
discussion.
one quick question that we can answer while we're doing the handoff. It was with the Reportcaster upgrades and UI, will there be any, I know the answer to this, but I want it to come directly from you. Will that, I think the question was, will that still be seamless going from WebFOCUS 8 to WebFOCUS 9? Will the migration be seamless?
We've definitely have been trying very hard to make upgrade processes as smooth as possible. So I would say if there are database changes, it will be something where it's a very easy script to run or a very easy method to update it. I don't see any major roadblocks or issues going from version 8 to version 9.
Yeah. No, that's been our experience as well, and with past stuff at least. I know it only gets easier, so we haven't really looked at the new interface and what it's going to look like, but I'll be excited to work with you on that. So